Hi guys, Jared here, and I wanted to talk about this, the PlayStation Vita. This is actually my launch Vita. It came with this cool carrying case where you could put some games in there and whatnot. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about this instrument of destruction. A lot of people are saying that, Sony is basically going to discontinue it or what have you. It's actually really hard to find in stores right now. I don't think they're going to discontinue it per se because, well, the refreshed model was just recently released, so it doesn't really make any sense. However, some of the big wigs at Sony have been saying that they're not going to really be making too many first-party titles anymore. Some big games are going to mainly leave it to indies and third parties. And that's sad because I actually really enjoyed this platform. So it's sort of a community question of what do you think of the PlayStation Vita in general? Did you enjoy it? Do you enjoy it right now? You can see the cat right over there. And just what do you think is going to happen to this platform moving forward? Do you think that there's a chance that it'll be sort of resuscitated, or do you think Sony's just going to slowly let it phase out and die? Surprisingly, sales are around 10 million units right now, so it's not that bad. It's not obviously like on fire like the 3DS was, and it's not as popular as the PSP was, but I had a really lot of fun with this particular handheld, although primarily during its first year of release. Since then, I really haven't picked up too much. So I thought, I thought it'd be cool if I'd ask you guys, what did you think of the platform? And then just talk a little bit about some of the experiences and some of the games that I really enjoyed. So let's take a look at some of those games. So I think the first game that I picked up and that really impressed me was Uncharted Golden Abyss. This was from Sony Bend, and this was from the makers of the Siphon Filter games on the PSP. And we haven't really seen anything from these guys in a long time. And I kind of wonder if maybe they were working on either a follow-up to this or perhaps another game entirely for the Vita, and that it got canceled, and now they're sort of like in limbo as to what they're working on next. That's sort of where I'm right now. Like, I'm not sure what these guys are up to, unless they're working on a PlayStation 4 game, but by now you'd think that we would have heard something from this studio. Anyways, this was a great introduction to the PlayStation Vita. I did find some of the touchscreen stuff was a little bit gimmicky, but overall, great production values and a really fun, solid game. Another one that I enjoyed on the Vita, that I played between the Vita and the PlayStation 3, was Guacamelee. I really loved that game. It was a Metroidvania game, but with this Mexican sort of flavor to it. It was really, really good. And Drinkbox Studios, the makers of that game, also made, Mutant Blobs Attack? Tales from Space, Mutant Blobs Attack, something like that. It's now available on like pretty much everything. But on the Vita, it was the best launch title. I absolutely loved it. So the other ones, I'm just going to go really quickly through some. This is Wipeout 2048. This was a really fun little game. Really, if you like Wipeout, this was a really great version of it. And it's sad because now it seems like the series has sort of gone away the dodo. If I'm not mistaken, this was the last release. And it was a fun one. It was a really, really fun Wipeout game if you enjoy the series. Little Big Planet on the PlayStation Vita was also really impressive. This was basically one of the best versions of the game they've released so far, and it's sad because too few people have actually played this. But it's a fantastic game. If you have a PlayStation Vita, I highly recommend you check this one out. Another one that I really enjoyed, it was fun for what it was. It wasn't a breakthrough title or anything like that, was Resistance Burning Skies. It was an average game, but I loved this universe, and any excuse to jump back into it was worth it for me. I didn't give it the greatest score in the world as a game because it is a kind of flawed experience, but it's still a fun game, and probably today you can most likely pick this up at a discounted price, so you might as well check it out. Another one that this one I really enjoyed was Gravity Rush. This was an excellent game. Really, really recommend this one. The fact that you can flip gravity, go all over the place. It was a unique, real, true AAA experience. It's a real shame this wasn't available closer to launch because it was a really, really solid game. And we're coming to the end. This is not my whole collection, obviously. This is just some of the games that I've picked up that I wanted to talk about. Killzone Mercenary. This was very impressive for what it was. This really, truly felt like a console Killzone on the go. It was a breathtaking experience and a lot of fun. And if you own a PlayStation Vita and want to see what a real, true first-person shooter is like for the platform, pick this one up. It's very, very impressive. And the last game that I purchased for this platform was Tearaway. This is probably the best game on the PlayStation Vita. Makes perfect use out of all the Vita's functions, and it's just an amazing game from Media Molecule. One of the, well, I think it is the best game on the PlayStation Vita right now. I can't recommend this one enough. This is a fantastic game. But this game, I'm looking for the year. Yeah, it was released last year in 2013. I have not purchased or used my PlayStation Vita since this game was released, and I think that sort of speaks volumes because there really hasn't been anything released on the platform since Tearaway that has really interested me. It's sort of like all these big releases have sort of died down and disappeared. I know there was a port of Borderlands 2, but if I want to play Borderlands 2, I'll just buy it for console. So those are some of the games that I want to talk about. These ones all right here. And I'm sure you guys have lots of other games that, you know, you were really impressed by. I've got more games, like I said. Just wanted to tackle some of those. They were some of my favorite experiences on the platform. And I'm kind of sad that Sony has publicly said now that, you know, they're going to back away from this and basically focus more on smaller digital download titles, the homebrew scene, and let third parties release content on the Vita. That's really sad because I was really hoping for some more AAA experiences like this. This isn't really much. I like to hold, you know, like a library like that and say these are my favorite games for the platform. And here, what am I holding up? 3, 6, 7 games. I'm sure I could have picked 10, but it's kind of sad that the talk is sort of making it sound like the PlayStation Vita is over, it's finished. And even though I know they're not going to discontinue it, because like I said, they just released a refreshed, revamped model, it's sort of like it's going to be, what, like neglected or put into a corner for just PlayStation 4 remote play? For someone like me, that doesn't really interest me. And it's kind of sad because this has sort of been a paperweight since I finished Tearaway. And that's really sad. I've been getting a lot of use out of my 3DS, but this poor bad boy, I think, is gonna, by the looks of it, it's gonna be put into storage soon and never to be heard from again, except for sort of retro purposes. And that's kind of sad. It was a really powerful and strong and unique system, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm kind of sad that Sony's sort of moving away from the platform. So anyways, since this was a community question, what do you guys think of the PlayStation Vita? Like I said, if you say that, oh, it's going to be discontinued, that doesn't make any sense considering they just released a refresh. I think there's something going on there, but I'm not entirely sure what is happening with the PlayStation Vita as of right now. But what are some of your favorite experiences with the PlayStation Vita? What do you think is going to happen to the PlayStation Vita moving forward? Do you think Sony's just going to do like what I said, just move it, sort of push it aside, brush it aside, and move on and just focus on PlayStation 4, or what? So leave a comment, let me know, and maybe we can get an interesting conversation going. Thanks for watching, everybody, and be back soon.